All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on when you're watching this. So we are going to be continuing from where we stopped last week. So last week Sunday we introduced Python programming to you. Talked about several concepts in Python, fundamental concepts that you need to understand. So I'm just going to go through what we did last week, recap, and then move ahead to what we have for this week. All right. So this particular video is just going to be a continuation of the week one session. So the material for this week two session one class would be still be the same material we used last week Sunday. So just keep that in mind in case you are confused or you're looking for week two material. So we are going to have two sessions. We're going to have this session, which is a continuation of the programming basics. That is a continuation of the class we did last week, and also a session two for week two. That is okay. Let's just say session four week two. So this session is going to be the session three, and then we're going to have session four for week two later. So just to clear and have you understand exactly what we are doing. So we are going to continue what we did last week. So last week we introduced Python, talked about what Python is, how it is a general level programming language. Is a language that is easy to read. It has a clear syntax basically, and that's the idea behind Python. All right, we talked about the application of Python that it can be used in web development. It can be used for data analysis. It can be used for machine learning. It can be used for a lot of other things, right? So it's what makes it a general purpose programming language. So we talked about all that. We talked about the Python syntax and also specifically about indentation. We talked about this indentation, why it is important, how it improves readability, and it helps in arranging or organizing a block of code. All right, so we also moved into variables. What variables? I remember I explained to you how variable is a container that takes in data, right, and it can be moved from one point to another in your code. So I we spoke about all this, and I believe you've gotten an idea of what a variable is, and also the data types we have in Python. These are fundamental concepts you need to know. It's very essential you understand them. And I gave assignments for the class we had on Sunday. And to be honest, and I'm quite disappointed with the turnout. Like not half of the class, not up to half of the class have submitted, even till now. So I don't know how exactly you want to internalize all the things we've learned if you can't do the assignment, right? So that is only one of the ways you show you are committed to what we are doing here, right? So yeah, I just have to say that. So moving forward, we talked about data types. We talked about mutable versus immutable data types. We talked about how to convert, how to do conversion basically from one data type to another. So I actually want to believe that we've gone to make research on this particular concept because I gave us materials, I gave us a PDF book that we can read, we can make reference to. So I won't be there all the time, right? So it's left to you to now start reading on your own, to start trying to understand and going further to understand some of these concepts we've done, right? I've told you how to set up an environment where you can code. That shouldn't be a problem now. Although some people are still having difficulty with that. But since you as long as you have your coding environment set, you can always practice. You can always practice code. Try to understand the syntax. Just take examples, random examples from the internet, from the book I sent, and basically you can get examples anywhere you want. That shouldn't be an issue. So you should be able to practice all these things we've learned to help you internalize, to help you further understand them. So I would all definitely do my best to break down this concept to you, right? But you are left you it is left to you to decide whether you'd want to put extra effort, right? So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that it's essential. I I say some things because we're not just going to be teaching in this class. We're also going to be trying to talk about other things, right? Trying to give us the right motivation and trying to help us get motivated as well. So if you've made up your mind that you want to go through with this program and you want to become a data scientist, the ball is literally in your court. You have to decide how you are going to achieve that. Okay, so that is it for that. So let's just move on. We have limited time. I'm working with a particular time frame for this particular class. So yeah, this was where we stopped in last class. We stopped here last class. We talked about all these things that I've showed you. Okay, you already know what the print statement does. So you know what the print statement does. It basically give an output to the console, so you see exactly what it is you're doing in Python. So we've worked with that a lot in your assignment. If you've done the assignment, you would notice that most of the things you did, you used the print statement, right? So we're also going to talk about that when we get to the function aspect of Python. Okay, so for today, we'll be starting with comments and docstring. So if you notice, for those that have done the assignment, I asked a particular question regarding comment and docstring. That question is going to be a bonus question because we didn't discuss that in the last class. We didn't discuss that in the last class. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I actually didn't teach this in that class. So we are going to have to give that as a bonus. But some persons as answered the question, and that is actually great. That is great. So we're going to start with that today. So now in Python, there's what we call comments and there's what we call docstring. So basically, comment is what it is. It is a comment, right? When you are writing something, maybe a book, and you write a comment can be in brackets. You can just put it by the side, commenting on what it is you've written. It's the same thing for Python. When you're writing your code and everything, the logic and everything, you can include comments in your code to basically explain what it is your code is doing. So that is the essence of comments in Python. The comment there is meant to explain what your code is doing because most of the time, your code is not just going to be read by you or used by you. You might want to send your code to maybe another of your colleague, a data scientist, to just go through it and try to maybe probably you guys are collaborating on a work and you didn't include any comments. It will be very difficult for that person, for the data scientist or for that programmer to understand exactly what you've written, although they might understand to an extent if they know if they understand that programming language, but there's some logic that will be done or that will be written that will be difficult to understand. So that is where comment comes in. So as a programmer, you are meant to at least write comments and just basically explain your code to other programmer, right? This is basically how it is. Code is for the computer, while comment is for the person. So the code is what you're writing to the computer, instructing the computer what to do. The computer is the one that understands the code, but the comment is for the person writing the code and also for other people that will read the code, right? So in Python, a comment is written. A comment is written by adding this hashtag. You can see it here, this hashtag, right? So once you start a line with hashtag, anything that comes after it is a comment. You get? Once you write hashtag or you type hashtag in that particular code, anything that comes after it is a comment. Don't confuse this now with Markdown, right? You know, I told you about Markdown and code cell, right? In this particular scenario, that cell you are working on is a code cell. You want to write code there, but you also want to explain what your code is in that same code cell. So you use what we call comments. And to write a comment in Python, you need to start with hashtag. Once you write hashtag, Python interpreter will know that, oh, you don't need to run this particular line of code. It is a comment. So you can now go ahead to write your code and then whatever, if you need to write additional comments, you can include that, right? So just understand this. Just understand this. This is basically how comment is in Python. So we have single line comment and we also have multi-line comment. Um, in Python, if probably your comment is longer than a line, you want to like It is actually a very long comment. You can do it in 3 lines or in 4 lines or in five, depending on how long it is, right? So as you can see here, this first line, this is an example of a multi-line comment spread over 3 lines. Yeah, this is very acceptable in Python. You can spread your comment over as many lines as possible, right? So at least you'd get your idea passed out to the person reading the code. Okay, so now we've talked about comments. Yeah, I believe you understand what comment is. So let me just do a little demonstration to help you to drive the concept home to you. So we come here to a new notebook, right? You want to write a code, right? You just come here and this is a code cell as indicated here is a code cell. So you can write your code. You can say print 2 plus 2 to give you 4. This is a code you can run, right? So now if you want to add a comment here, you can just come here and write and type hashtag. Once you type hashtag, Python will know, oh, this line now is going to be a comment, right? So you can now explain what it is you want to do here. You can say, I want to print 2 plus 2. Can you see it? So now this 2 plus 2, you are explaining exactly what it is you are doing here. So this code has been written. This is the comment to explain this code. So you can write the comment up on top of it, or you can write the comment by the side. Yeah, either way is acceptable in Python. So you can write it by the side to just explain what this particular line of code is doing. Or you can write it on top, right? So that is actually how you use comments in Python. So I think that is straightforward enough. There is nothing more to say about that. So, but there's just something I would like to say regarding comment. So let's say you write a code, print 2 plus 2. Now, if you put hashtag in front of this code, you see that it has turned to comment. You cannot, if you press Control and Enter, nothing will happen because this line of code is now a comment. It has been commented out, right? Python is not seeing this as a code again, right? That Python is seeing it as a comment. Why? Because of this hashtag at the front, in the front rather. You get, so if you remove it, you can say it's no longer a comment. Python now understand what exactly it is you're doing. So that is simply what the comment is. Like it's just to explain your code, right? So once you put hashtag, anything that follows it, whether it is a code you are writing, whether it's a sentence or whatever, whether it is an explanation for your code, it is going to be a comment, and Python won't run that particular line. You get, so that is it for comments. So I believe that is straightforward. That is it for comments, Python comments. So we have what we call docstring. We have what we call docstring in Python. So this is like a comment, but it has a very specific use. Docstring is a comment in the sense that Python doesn't run a docstring. You get, so it is used in a very specific purpose when writing functions. We'll get to functions in Python. We'll get to what functions are and how to define a function. But just understand that docstrings are used inside a function. As you can see, for example, we have a function here. This is how to write a function in Python. You are trying to define a function that would have that will add a and b together, right? So now, as you can see, we have multiple lines of comment. Is basically trying to explain what this function does. So these lines now, they are docstring, right? They are docstring. You get, so we have the three quotation mark at the beginning, and we have the three quotation mark at the end. So this is basically the syntax for writing docstring in Python. You get, so we have a docstring. If you want to write a docstring, you start with three quotes, write what you want to write, and then end with three quotes, and then Python automatically know that this is a docstring. So this is usually used in functions, in defining a class, and also in modules, right? So these are very advanced. These are advanced concepts that we'll talk about later. But just understand this is what a docstring is and what it is used for. You might not necessarily use this docstring like you use a comment, right? So just understand that this is a comment and this is a docstring. So moving forward, we have what we call arithmetic operations in Python. So there are set of operations in Python. We have different set of operations in Python. We have assignment operation, we have arithmetic operation, we have logical operation, right? So, but for today, for this particular one, we'll be talking about arithmetic operations, right? So this arithmetic operation is the basic math that we all know, like it's the basic mathematics that were taught in our primary school, subtraction, addition, division, multiplication, and the rest. Just we need to we'll introduce some new concepts and also the syntax of these arithmetic operations. You get so now I don't need to start explaining what arithmetic operations are, but I just need to go and explain or tell you how to approach arithmetic operations in Python. So now we'll start with the additional operation, addition arithmetic operation. So basically, you know what this does. This adds two numbers, right? So if you come here in Python, you see what we did here now is an arithmetic operation. Python can easily do that. You don't need to use any special stuff. You can just write 2 plus 2. Python will automatically run the code for you, right? Python can automatically know what you are doing. It can perform this basic arithmetic operation. Two is a number, plus is the arithmetic is the symbol of addition, and then two is the other number you add to this number. So basically, Python will give you the answer, right? So if you come here and you say you define a variable, you say a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 2. And I come here and I say a print a plus b, the same thing, right? So I'm just trying to assign this number to a variable. So if I change this variable to, let's say 4, as you can see, 6. So a is 4, b is 2. So 4 plus 2 is what? 6. So this is what this is a simple arithmetic operation in Python. So we can also do the subtraction. If you say print, okay, let's just use the same cell. If you come here and say a minus b, 2, right? So the subtraction sign. If you come here and say a divided by b, you get 2, right? As you can see, this 2 is a float because it has decimal number. So you know the addition sign, we know the subtraction sign, we know the division sign, which is slash. So the division sign in Python, division sign in Python is not the normal division, you know, that is that has a dot and a dash and then a dot, the one that we use now back in the days in school. So it is slash. This is a slash. Then you but as long as this slash is there, Python will know that you want to divide this number by this number. So now we have also have two slash. When you have two slash, Python does what we call floor division. This slash is for, let me use comments here. This slash is for normal division. Why this slash, two slash is floor division. You get now. So what floor division means basically is that Python will divide this denominator by this numerator by this denominator, and it is going to give you a whole number. It will remove the decimal point for you. Let's change this to okay, let's just change the number to help you understand it. Let's say this is 7 and this is 2. As you can see, there's no decimal point. This is a floor division. It removes the decimal part of the answer and leaves you with just a whole number. If I use the normal division, which is just 1, it's going to give me everything, both the whole number and just basically giving me the real answer. But floor division will give me just the integer, basically. So this one gives floats outputs, and why this floor division returns an integer rather, an integer value. So just take note of that. Float value and integer value. Right, so that is for floor division. So we have another symbol, another arithmetic operation in Python called modulus. Modulus, which is represented by the percentage sign. Modulus or operation. So what this does is that when you use it here, you come here and you use the percentage sign, it returns the remainder. It returns the remainder of the division. Okay, so you can see here it's giving us 1 because 2 divided by 7 is what? 3. Remainder 1. So that remainder is what it is going to return. So that is basically what the modulus operation does in Python. It gives us the remainder, right, of the this particular operation. So if I come here and I say 6 divided by 2 is 0 because there's no remainder. You get. So if I still come here and say 17 divided by 2 is still 1. You get. So as you can see, let me make it, let me change this number here. Let's say 5. As you can see, 2 is giving me 2 because 5 divided by 17 is what? 3, remainder 2. So basically, this is what modulus operation does. So I believe you are familiar with the addition sign. You're already familiar with the addition sign, addition, and you're also familiar with the subtraction, subtraction. So you might not necessarily be familiar with modulus and floor division, so I needed to explain that better. So you can always do any arithmetic operation in Python. So in the course of the program, we'll be doing a lot of arithmetic operation, and you need to understand how the syntax of performing those operations. So I believe that should that explanation should do. If there's any question, you can always ask on the group chat. So that is basically what we have for that is basically the remainder. Okay, we also yeah, we have some other operations. We have the exponential operation, which is exponentiation, right? And we also have the increment and decrement operations. All right, so let me just quickly go through these ones. So this exponential operation is the power operation we all know in mathematics. So if you say 2 raised to power something, that is an exponential operation. So let me come here and just add that there. So the syntax is 2 asterisks exponential. Okay, let me spell that well. Exponential operation. All right. So the okay. Let me zoom in. All right. So I believe you can see it clearly now. All right. So we have the exponential operation. It is represented by 2 asterisk sign here. 2 asterisk sign. So if I come here and I change this modulus operation to asterisk, this is what I'll be getting. What I'm telling Python here basically is that 17, A is what? 17 is a variable. Yeah, it's contained this integer data type. Why B is a 5, the value for B is 5. So I was setting variables here. So basically what this particular operation is 17 raised to power B. So this is exactly what it is doing. 17 raised to power 5. Right, so this is what will happen here. So you'll get this particular number. So you can see it, um, 1 million 419,857. As you can see, yeah. So that is basically what exponentiation is. So you are going to raise this value to this power, and you get the result. So I forgot to add the multiplication operation. That is represented by only 1 asterisk. So we have multiplication. So you know what multiplication is now. You multiply a number by another number. So if I run this, I'll be getting 85. Let me make this a very simple value so you can understand. So if I run this, I'll be getting 30. So what I'm having here is 6 times 5. right? So these are the basic arithmetic operations we have in Python. So you can just do whatever it is. You can practice. You can try out different operations just to understand exactly how this works. So that is very straightforward. There is nothing complex about this entire operation. So, but you need to understand this because moving forward, we are going to need the knowledge that we've gotten here to understand some further concepts, right? So, great. Um, yeah, sorry for that. All right. All right. Okay. We have another last operation here, which is the increment and decrement operations. Right. So in Python, you can increase a variable. There is a particular syntax for increasing or decreasing variables. So as you can see here, we assign this one to this x variable, and then we write out this syntax. Just pay attention to this: x plus equal to one. So what this does is that it adds one to x. You know, we've already assigned 1 to x already here. So x is 1. So wherever you bring x, you see 1. So now I'm adding another 1 to x. So this is like a shortcut to do this. It's the same thing as x is equals to x plus 1. So x here is 1. So plus 1. So now x is 2. So basically you are increasing that particular variable, or you are adding it. You're adding another value to it. So this is a very short way of doing it. Plus equal to. So for subtraction, the syntax is minus equal to, right? So it's very easy. That is why I like Python. Python is a very straightforward programming language. It made all this arithmetic operation very intuitive. So it's something that you know. You just have to type it on Jupyter Notebook or whatever environment you're using to code, and you are going to get exactly the same output um, um, you expect to get, right? So this is one of the benefits of learning Python. It's very straightforward. In some programming languages, to carry out this arithmetic operation, you have to go through extra steps. Extra steps. So you need to appreciate Python for its simplicity. So that is it about okay, let me just give you a very quick example of this increment and decrement operator. So for example, for instance, now we have a number equals to 10. This is a variable, right? We've assigned 10 to this number. They want to increase this number by 5. So normally you can just come here and say number is equals to number plus 5. What this means is that number is equals to 10 because 10 is here already. So this number is 10 plus 5. So 10 plus 5 is equals to 15. You are now adding 5 to this number and assigning it back to number. So you are basically increasing the value of this number. So this is a very, very, this is actually a way to increase a variable number. But instead of doing it this way, you can just come here and say number plus equals to 5, right? This is a very, very simple and effective way of doing the same thing, right? So if I come here um, and I print this, print, and I print this too, print, sorry, print. Oh, okay, I think there's slight issue there. You can just come here and just print the number. Come here and print the number. So as you can see, we have 15. Okay, there's something I'm going to do now that we're going to talk in the next class. So it's called string formatting. So I will come here and say before, okay, let's say first addition. I'll come here and say second addition. So as you can see now, we have this now. As you can see, this is the first increment, or let's call it increment. Increment, second increment. So this is the first increment now. So here we have 10 already, right? And then we come here. Right. So you can see that the initial number was 10, and then we added 5 to 10 and we had 15, and then we added 5 to 15 and we had 20. So this is a very simple way of doing this increment operation, right? So plus the arithmetic operation you want to perform, and then equal to. So this plus is saying add this number, add this 5. After you've added it, then you will now assign the value to number again. So that is just a very neat way of doing that, right? So that's it for that. All right. So you can actually also perform the same thing using using other arithmetic operations like multiplication. You can say multiply number by 2, and you get, let's print number, print f. Okay, this particular f is something I'm going to talk about in the next class, right? So this is how we use string formatting. So just pay attention to it, because in the next class we're going to be discussing it. It's a very very neat way of printing out values. So we can say multiplication, multiplication increment, and then we can just do like this and write number, right? So and then so we would have this. So as you can see, you have number now is 20. So we are saying 20 times 2 because of this multiplication operation here, operation symbol. 20 times 2 is what? 40. Then assign 40 with this equal to number back. You get, so you can do it with as many kind of arithmetic operations as you want, right? So that is basically it for that. So we didn't really talk much on in this class. We just discussed arithmetic operations and also comment and docstring. So as you are going through this recording, I believe you might have some questions. If you have any question, you can always drop it and tag me on the group chat. So that's it for today. Yeah, this is a very short one, very very short one, just to conclude what we started with last week. So basically, we've talked about the overview of Python, what Python is, and by now nobody should be asking questions about Python. Nobody should be confused on what Python is and what Python do. That is something you should know by now, right? So now we know the applications of Python. We are doing data science here, right, which is going to involve data analysis and data visualization and also machine learning too. So that is why we're using Python. It's actually a very good programming language for these applications, right? So then we talked about the Python syntax. We introduced Python syntax to you. We talked about indentation, very very important. You will see more of its application as we move on with other aspects of Python. We talked about variables and data types, very very basic and fundamental concept that you need to know. You need to understand what variables and data types are, and make sure you go through this material, please. I have sent it to the group chat already. Please try to, as much as you can, to go through the material, look at the examples that are there, practice it on your Jupyter notebook. I believe you've downloaded the Jupyter Anaconda and you already have access to Jupyter notebook. So practice all these examples that you're seeing here. You don't need to wait for me to give you assignments, although you'll definitely be given assignment every week. But you can on your own just practice this 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I understand that we might not have much time. Plenty of free time, but those ones, the ones that you have, the one that you have, try as much as possible to practice. That is how you become a very good program, and that is how you become good at programming, you guys. So if you don't practice it, you will tend to forget what you've learned already. So try to use integer variable, use float, boolean, list, tuple, dictionary set, and also all these things, basic things that we've taught you. Practice it. I know they might sound simple, they might look simple, but if you don't continually practice it or use it, you would start to forget it, because yeah, it's very, very common. It's very common in learning. Once you don't use what you are learning, you will forget it. So, do your assignment, please. Like, please. I'm actually begging at this point, because the essence of all this is the essence of the assignment is to make you practice and assess your understanding of what we've taught. This assignment that we did, I want to understand, I want to believe that the reason why we don't have plenty submissions is because people are still facing challenges with setting up their environment. Some persons might not have laptop at the moment, and some other challenge. I want to believe that is the challenge or the setback with doing the assignment, and not just that we don't want to do the assignment. So, although it is for your own benefit, because we are going to have a leaderboard at the end of the program. And the banks, they actually promised to employ those, not just the bank, with other organizations that are affiliated, they promise to employ those that come out as the best in each category, in each particular track. So I believe everyone came here for a reason. You came here to learn something so you can be employable. You don't just came here, you didn't come here to waste your time. You came here to learn so you can be employable and you can bring value to companies and to organizations. So the way to get to that point is to put effort, is to put in effort in what you're doing, is to put in effort in coming, attending lectures, coming to class, putting effort to getting the materials and going through the materials, putting effort to doing basically everything that you are required to do as a student in this particular program. That is the way you would get to where you want to get to. So I believe there is nothing difficult or impossible to do in generally in life, right? So especially in this program that we are in now, this is not an impossible thing to learn. It is very, very straightforward if you put in the effort, if you do those things that you are required to do. All right, so that is enough motivation for now. So we are going to be ending this particular class now, and I would I would be also dropping the recording for the second class on Sunday. We are going to be moving on to advanced concepts in Python. Right, we are moving as fast as we can, so we will meet up with the outline, with the schedule. So yeah, that is it for now. See you guys in the next class. All right, thank you very much. Please go through this material. We have I actually added additional resources here, because I understand that this particular material might not be comprehensive enough, or it might not be enough for you to learn on. So you can go to these places, right? You can see that these links are clickable. If you click on this, what is Python now, it will take you to a YouTube video. It will take you to a YouTube video where you would get to understand, or they would explain Python to you from a different perspective. Like learning, it does not just involve a particular method,
When I
right?
found Hostinger and I found out about the website builder, I was really blown away. It made building.
Once the ad is over, you will see right, everything you need to know about Python is here. Like you would get extra information, right? So many things, even some things that I forgot.
Build and run
Isn't
Python applications on Windows, Mac.
Even something I forgot to say in the class or mention, you will see it there. So if you click on this to indentation, Python syntax, right? So let's click on arithmetic operation. It will take you to a YouTube video that would also explain this. So this is how you also learn after the class. So I've dropped these resources to make it easier for you. So you don't just go, because there's a lot of
In
information
this
out there.
video, we're going to be
So as you
talking
can see
about
it,
arithmetic.
as you can see,
In this video, all right?
so a lot of
Have
useful information.
but I'll
You
use
can just
double
go there
asterisk.
and watch and just
Divided by.
get to understand more of it, right? So everything is there at your everything is there. Like we are ensuring that you have in the necessary resources to get you going. So the ball is in your court, right? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, and see you all in the next class, right?